Let's talk to Peggy Nash. She's in our studios in Toronto. And Ms. Nash, thank you for joining us. And let me put this bit of, I guess what we'll call it, good news to you. I've been speaking to staffs on a whole lot of campaigns, your opponents' campaigns, and when I ask them who's polling here, who's doing well, I consistently hear that you are, by their estimations, the other campaigns, that you are the front runner, that if the vote were held tomorrow, you'd be the winner. What do you think about that?
Well, it's still early days, and it's one member, one vote right across this country, so it's difficult really to get a handle on who's where. But I'll tell you that it's so exciting to go across the country and meet our existing membership, to encourage and inspire people who have maybe voted for the NDP but have never actually joined up, to sign a card and choose the next leader of the party. So that's wonderful work. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself, and I guess ultimately in March the members will make a decision who they think is the front runner.
Let me, now, I don't know if this is the bad news, but at the same time when I talk to other campaigns, when I ask them, you know, where are you sitting, and they say, well, Peggy Nash is doing very well, then they give the knock on Peggy Nash and why someone should not vote for her. And here it is. I'll lay it out in a nutshell. They say that that is a vote for essentially a traditional, safe NDP, an NDP that really only got to where the party was when Jack Layton took over in 2003. And then, in fact, Jack Layton's whole project, the Jack Project, was to extend the NDP franchise, find new tranches of voters, people who'd voted Conservative or Liberal. And they say voting for Peggy Nash, while there is a lot of New Democrats who like you, you're going to hit a ceiling and that's about it, that you can't grow the party.
Well, that's simply not the reality. Jack recruited me to run when he became leader in 2003. And I've showed by defeating a provincial Liberal cabinet minister in the riding of Parkdale High Park that not only can I grow the party, that even when we have setbacks, I can persevere and I can win, that I can unite progressives, I can build our party. Unlike some, I've run in 4 federal elections, and I've shown that I can not only win my seat, I can recruit and win candidates provincially and municipally. Our riding now is completely NDP from top to bottom, and we've gone from 1 seat in Toronto, the Jack Layton one, to now 8 seats in the City of Toronto. Also, as former party president, I know what it takes to build our party to win. So I know we need to build our riding associations, we need to train organizers, and as a social activist, I know from first-hand experience that I can connect the passion that so many activists feel, so many young people feel, for issues like the environment, fighting poverty, the Occupy movement, and connect that with concrete action and why we need to elect progressive members of Parliament. That's been my life's work, and I think my leadership, my fight, my capacity to build has shown that I have the kind of leadership it takes to win.
Let me ask you this question, because when we talk to people who remember the 2003 campaign, similar in a sense to yours in that everybody could rank people they preferred, Jack Layton would win. He won on the first ballot. And after the fact, people said that his strategy for his winning team was he just wanted to be ahead of Bill Blakey. Layton saw that Bill Blakey was his chief opponent, so he said wherever he was on anybody's ballot, he just had to be ahead of Bill. Do you have a Bill Blakey? Is there a candidate out there that you say, no matter where you're ranking me, I need to be ahead of this person, or maybe there's 2?
Well, David, what I would say is I'm running to be everybody's first choice, but even if I'm only a number of people's second choice, I can win.
All right. Let's go on to probably the more important stuff, shall we say. That is your announcement today about innovation and about funding high-tech companies. I encourage people to go read it. It's at peggynash.ca. I wanted to maybe just take it a little bit further and ask a bit of a hypothetical, but one that is bordering on the could happen soon, and that is the fate of Research in Motion. It's struggling in the market, struggling in the stock market. There's some suggestion that a foreign buyer could show up and make a bid for RIM. If you were the Prime Minister, would you let Research in Motion be acquired by a foreign company?
Well, what I would do, David, is I would make sure that we change the Investment Canada Act, and I've been very specific on this. We've seen so many examples, such as Caterpillar in London and Rio Tinto, Alcan in Alma, Quebec, where I've spoken with the workers there who are locked out by foreign companies that have taken over Canadian companies. There are many examples of this. What I would do is open up the Investment Canada process so that communities and the people affected can have input into the purchase process so that we truly can determine whether or not there is a net benefit to Canada. So I've been the most specific on this, and actually I'm the only candidate who has concrete action on this because I was able to block the takeover of another iconic Canadian company, McDonald Detweiler, that makes the Canadarm. We were told it had to be sold. And so what we did was we showed that it wasn't a net benefit to Canada, blocked the takeover, and that company's doing better than ever. So what I would say with RIM, I mean, this again is another, I would call it an iconic Canadian company, but we need to open up the process to determine, is there a net benefit to Canada? Will this save the company, or will the technology just be stripped and all of the R&D and all of the production will be taken out of the country? That's what we need to determine. And when a company makes commitments under the Investment Canada process, we need to know what those commitments are, and we need to enforce them. That's what I'd do as Prime Minister.
Peggy Nash, it's been great to chat with you. And if you want to meet Peggy and you're in Sarnia, Ontario, leadership luncheon there tomorrow. So Peggy, good luck, and we'll chat again before it's all over, I'm sure.
Thanks so much, David.